Let's go.
Glad to hear it, bro. How you feeling about that All-Star game? Being a former NBA All-Star, watching that. You know what I'm excited about, which I've been saying for years. They need to bring that one-on-one in, and I think they're going to do it next year. I think they're going to do it.
Yeah, that'll be dope. That'll be dope. The only thing I didn't like about the All Star game, I thought the format USA versus the world was good, but that third game, man, when them old heads tried to come out there and play after that second break, they let man. I said we looked like they had some big ass Tims on, man. They was running, they was slow, they was old, they look old, man. I think that the third game to me is too much for them. You know what I'm saying? It's just too much, especially from an organizational standpoint. If I'm a coach or a GM, I'm like, yeah, that's just too much waiting around, stop, go, stop, go. But I like the format. You know, I thought that it was a lot more competitive that way.
So you thought it was more physical or more mental? Do you think that they just didn't have it, even if they really wanted it, they couldn't have won that one? Or just the young guys wanted it more? How'd you feel about that?
I just thought that it was tough for them to get loose. Like you looking at Durant, he's 37. You know, like LeBron's 30. Like Kawhi had 31 in the quarter, but he had to sit down for like 20, 30 minutes and then get back up and get loose again for the third time. Like it was just too much. Maybe the second game was cool, but that third game, them old heads was like, this shit is crazy. You know, I'm gonna tear some shit out here if I keep going. You know.
Bro, I think you're right because when I go to the gym, like that first game, I feel crazy, bro. But then, like second, third, fourth game, I start feeling like myself again. Like that first game, like this dude shouldn't even be messing with me, but it's like it takes a little bit longer to get warm these days, you know?
Definitely, best, especially when you get up there, man. I'm in my 50s, so that shit. If I gotta take one break, I'm done. Like I ain't coming back after the first break. I'm going straight out. I'm going 40 minutes straight. That's it. If I gotta stop for 20, 30 minutes, I ain't playing no more.
When you were in the All-Star game, was your mentality, I'm going to cook everyone, or this is more of a celebration? I'm just happy to be here and I'm going to relax and kind of go with the flow.
I mean, it was a little bit of both. At first, when I was in the locker room, I was just kind of awestruck, man. Just being in the locker room around everyone. Just this is my dream. Like I got my jersey like on Thursday. I wore that shit every day. I slept in that shit. You know what I mean? Like I wore that shit from Thursday all the way to Sunday, right? So I was in awe. But once the game started, like I wanted to make sure I scored. You know, I wanted to make sure that people knew I was supposed to be there. So when I got in the game, I didn't play as much. Brian Hill was the coach, and that was Penny Hardaway's first game. So he played Penny Hardaway like 35 minutes. I only got like 12 minutes, 11 minutes, but I scored 5 points. I was in the game putting that shit up when I got it. I said, I'm gonna make sure everybody know I'm supposed to be here. You know.
Yeah, that's dope. I mean, that's crazy. You slept in the jersey?
It was an All-Star jersey, man. I couldn't believe it. Like 2 years ago, I was sitting behind Gary Payton playing 5 minutes a game. You know
That's
what
a
I'm saying?
fact.
And I went to Seattle. I'm like, yo, y'all got to trade me because I don't even know what I can do in the league. And then 2 years later, I'm in the All-Star game. It was just like, wow, this shit just like, it just flipped quick for me. So, yeah, it was different. It was totally different.
What do you think would have happened if Seattle just gave you the keys right away? Like, let's just build around Dane and give him 40 minutes because you did become an all-star. Do you think that all could have happened even earlier, even though it did happen pretty early?
I don't know about being an all-star, but I got to Seattle. We had Dale Ellis, we had Xavier McDaniel. They was both all-stars. They didn't even want me to shoot really. Like Bernie Bickerstaff was the coach. He wanted me to shoot when I came in for Dale, but then Casey Jones came in and they drafted Gary, and then we went into like a slow half court game, throwing the ball into Benoit Benjamin and playing inside out, and it just wasn't my style. So to me, I thought I'm gonna be out the league in a couple of years doing this shit, you know. So when I first got in the league, they was letting me play when I played. You know, I didn't play that much, but when I went in the game, Bickerstaff was like, "Shoot the shit, or I'm taking you out. I drafted you because you can shoot. If you're not gonna shoot, I'm not gonna play." You know?
I think I lost your video, Dana. You there? There you go.
Yeah.
Yo, you mentioned Xavier McDaniels, and it feels like the enforcer is kind of extinct, but now we see Beef Stew running off the bench. That's like the new enforcer. It's back a little bit. Did you see that? That was crazy.
Yeah, we need that, man. We need that because listen, like to me, the game is super soft, man. It's really super
Mm.
soft. And back in the day, everyone would be, you know, if you tackled our guy hard going in for a layup, we would be like, all right, let's go, bring the enforcer in, and then the enforcer will walk down the bench and be like, all right, who's gonna pay my fine? Because he didn't make that much money, you know what I'm saying? Like he was like the 12th man, but he was the enforcer. So GP be like, I got you, bro. Go handle that. So we always had that enforcer. That kept the game kind of clean. But now Now to me, it's there's no physicality. A flagrant one is like that's a flagrant one. You know what I mean? Like so, the enforcers kind of did. I like what Detroit is doing though. I like how they're trying to bring that back, that bad boys back. So yeah, we need to get the game back to where the enforcers come in and get this game back to being a little more physical, like it is in the playoffs.
How physical really was it? Because some of like the OGs act like everybody played like the bad boys. Everybody did not play like the bad boys back then, right?
No, no, but you could like literally like when people try to post me up, I could put two hands on you. I could literally
Uh,
go like this. I could go like this. Like I could hand check you the whole way up the court. Like I could do this to you the whole way up the
and
court.
that just takes you out of your rhythm in
Yeah, you
itself.
could I could push you off your off timing. Just you go up to shoot, and it just was more physical from that standpoint. And then there was no ejections. So if you took somebody out, it was two shots play on, and it was you might get a $500 fine, but you wasn't getting kicked out the game and getting suspended for 4 or 5 games. That didn't happen until like the mid '90s or late '90s when David Stern started changing things around. So when people say more physical, it was just like, yeah, I could do a lot more to you defensively. It was harder to score. You know what I'm saying? Like I could literally body you up, bump you, chest you, and it wasn't a foul. So that's what I mean by more physical.
Do you think Steph Curry would have been as explosive as a scorer and a shooter back then when they could rough him up a little bit?
Hell yeah, because his handle was crazy. So as soon as you try to
Gotcha.
put your weight on him, he would just throw it behind his back and spin off. You would still shoot it. So that shit would correlate no matter where you play, because his handle was the key. Like people think his shot is the key. He can't get the shot off without that crazy ass handle he got. Like it don't matter with him.
Yeah,
It's more the guys who are mid range, who are slow, like a SGA where he would kind of take his time. Like people would be super physical with him. They put a big guy on him and they would try to be super physical with him. You know what I
so
mean?
you think it would be a little bit tougher for SGA than it would be Steph Curry in your era?
Only because he's a mid game. He's shooting more threes now. Only because he's more of a mid game. He uses more dribbles in the mid range to get his shot off. In the mid range, I'm putting two hands on you. I'm testing you. I'm bodying you, and that's not a foul. So he still might average 25 instead of 30. You know what I'm saying? But it would be tougher for guys who didn't have that, who couldn't stretch the floor and make that defense really play.
You mentioned he's shooting more threes now. It's crazy because the underrated story is the guy kind of got better. Like the passing got better. He's shooting more efficiently from three. Nobody's really talking about it, but that guy just keeps getting better, man.
Every year, man, and then they Sam Presti, OKC, just stole like 6 first-round picks and got him with the trade, with the Clippers. So
They just got
it's
Jared
just
McCain too from your old
yeah,
franchise.
and they're able to build around him. So yeah, I just think, yeah, he's gotten a lot better. Anthony Edwards is, shooting a lot more threes,
He
leading the
it
league, I
felt
think,
like
in
it felt
makes.
like this weekend he's the face of the league. That's what it felt like. Like
Right,
everything was
right.
around Ant Edwards. Wemby too, but like Ant's that guy.
Yeah, and he's what shooting. I think he has more makes than anyone in the whole league in terms of threes, as athletic as he is. So that's just crazy for them two guys to really improve over that. And they're still young, man. They're still young as shit too.
I know there was a financial aspect to it, but were you surprised when Harden got traded?
Nah, I mean they wouldn't extend him. You know what I mean? He knows how to get traded. He'll shut the shit down quick.
You think?
He'll be like, yo, my hammies hurt. I'm done. I'm done for the year. You know what I mean? So he'll shut it down quick. And the Clippers knew that, so they just said that they didn't decide. They decided not to play the game with him, and they just got rid of him in the best way they could. So I don't know how it's going to work in Cleveland. We'll see, but I don't know. He's really ball dominant, man. I just don't know how that's going to work.
Do you think it could fit with him and Donovan?
I think Donovan is. I think he has the right mentality to make it fit. But when the playoffs come, like Donovan is going. I think he's going to try to take it to another level. He's going to want the ball more. Harden is going to make Mobley and Jared Allen better. You know what I mean? But that's going to take more away from Donovan to me. But with the pick and rolls with those guys, so we'll see how it works. But it's an experiment right now, and I'm still kind of open to how that's going to feel at the end.
Watching Kawhi play the way he's playing, do you feel like James Harden had a better chance to win it all with the Clippers or now with the Cavs?
No, I think with the Cavs, I think the Cavs
Mm.
have more around them. And I think Kawhi is going to be out of there after this year or the next year. I just think they're going to have to give him another extension, give him some more money, or he's going to be like, yo, Who's around me? What am I? Zubac is gone. Like what? I know they brought in some pieces, but they're not gonna win. The West is crazy. Like I don't even know if they'll be in the play. Are they in the playing game right now?
Nah, they started out terrible, bro. They
Right.
started out
So
so
I mean, I
bad.
just think him not making the playoffs and him playing the way he's playing, I would want to get traded if I'm him. Shit, I'm about to be 30, 31 at least. I want to win. I'm not doing this shit.
Yeah, we talked about it before with Jason Tatum, and they added Vucevic. He's Jason Tatum's now working out in the G League, even though they really bring the G League to him, which is kind of interesting. You don't have to go to the G League. G League comes to Jason. But do you think he's going to return?
It seems like he's ramping up to, right? It seems like he's ramping up to, but it's more mental than physical, man. Like
100%.
it's so tough. I had surgery and I thought I was ready to play. I go out there and I played that first cut. I was like, is fucking people going and fast forward? Like the game is so fast, man. Like it's like you don't understand how the timing and rhythm and the speed of the game is until you get out there. So
Well, also just the thought of maybe getting injured again is always back there until you get totally back into rhythm, and that's almost like another guy guarding you. Like you don't even have to worry
definitely.
about everything else on the court. You're worrying about that injury a little bit in the back of your
And
mind.
that's a great point because I'm gonna tell you this. I watched myself on film. I didn't realize that every time I went up, I was not landing on the leg that I had surgery on. I was
That's
landing
crazy.
on one leg instead of coming down on two. I didn't even realize I was doing it. My body was almost subconsciously not allowing me to do it. So until you're mentally 100% ready to play, your body is not going to allow you to go 100% because you're going to have that in the back of your mind at all times.
Yeah. Do you feel like they have a legit chance to win it all this season if Tatum could come back?
I think if he comes back, I think if he waits until April and gets the extra month in, I think they'll have a much better chance. If he tries to come back in March and he's still limping a little bit and he's still I think there's a chance of re-injury, and that's what's in the back of his mind.
I agree with you. I think he needs like 2 months of good pickup, like
Right.
playing hard against the G League guys, whoever he wants to play against, the guy's not getting burned, the G League guys, the coaching staff, but he needs to go hard. Like you can't just throw him in the game, it's just different.
No, and I think it'll be more of a detriment to him mentally. Like if he's not like you say, he's gonna have to play at least 15 games before he even feels somewhat comfortable. You know what I mean? Real games, not G
Hmm.
League. He's gonna have to play, and that to me that needs to be in April if I'm him. I don't know the progress of it. They say he's playing, he looks, but I still see a little bit of a limp when I see him go. On the film, so I'm a little nervous.
Yeah.
About that. I'm a little
I
nervous
want to
about that.
see him come back and fit into that. I know it's a far fetch because he's coming off that injury, but we've talked about this before. I want to see him play that Robin role, and I want to see Jalen win the championship as like the guy on the team. Like that would be a great story. I would love that because they both could show now that like they could win the championship as the best player. That'd be like a cool story to me. And then obviously him coming back and winning another one.
That's how it's gonna have to be. Like the way Jalen is playing, he's gonna have to come back. Tatum's gonna have to come back and fit in. He's gonna have to come back
100%.
and
Like
fit in more.
focus on defense, and then he's so talented offensively. Like he's gonna get his points, but just like focusing on filling the gaps around Tatum.
Yeah, he's gonna play off the ball more. Like usually you see him catch the ball and pull it out and go through his shit at the top. To me, he's gonna be off the ball. Jalen or someone else is gonna hit him. Now he's got that guy running at him, and now he's gonna play off the ball to me more that way instead of trying to just take 15 dribbles and beat the guy one on one. That's gonna put too much pressure on his body to me.
Yeah, focus on playing defense, catch and shoot threes, and the rest will, it'll happen because he's just so talented, so big, so
Right.
athletic, scores so well. Who you got? OKC or the field this year?
I got the field, man. It's tough. It's
Ooh,
tough to go back to back. Plus, SCA is going to be out another 2 weeks. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Jalen Williams is out again. He's hurt again. He hasn't played much this year. So unless they're 100% healthy and playing on all cylinders, San Antonio is a matchup nightmare. They beat them 3 out of 4, and it's about matchups when you get to the playoffs, right? I don't
Right.
want to. For them, they might end up playing Minnesota, San Antonio, and Denver all before they go to the finals. You know what I mean? And that's going to be tough. Those three guys, those three teams have been there. Minnesota's been in the Western Finals, what, 2 of the last 3 years? So they're ready to go to the next step. So I don't think it. I'm not saying they can't do it. I just would take the field in the West over them because it's really tight, a lot more tighter now than it was last year.
I want to see Spurs and Knicks in the finals too. If the Boston doesn't get there, that'd be a cool final. Just see like a big market like New York, and then the Spurs. Man, like that would be box office to me.
New York needs to make it to the finals, man. I think.
I mean, some good pickups, right? I know you like
Yeah.
Jose and Sohan's tough too. Like they needed that toughness.
And they should have made it last year. To me, they should have beat Indiana. They had a better team in Indiana. They should have made it. And I think the fans are expecting them to turn it around and play a lot better this second half and make it to the finals. So I think they got a lot of pressure on them with Tatum being out and Indiana being different. Detroit, tonight they played Detroit, and Detroit's been busting their ass the last couple of times they played. So tonight's going to be a big thing for the fans and for the Knicks. See where they stand with that matchup,
How do you feel about like what is the biggest X factor you feel for the Knicks to win it all this season?
Cat, you know what I mean? I just think Cat's he's got to be consistent, stay out of foul trouble. Robinson is back healthy. He's a big key to them, man. Like he other than the free throws, I watched him play in person twice at the Knicks game in Boston, man. He's a problem. He's a real game changer on the inside for them. But Cat's got to stay out of foul trouble. He's got to score 20. He's got to get 10 to 15 rebounds to help Jalen be more consistent, man. I just think he's the real key for them. Jalen is going to be there and do what he does.
Yo, you're right about Mitch. It's kind of like Steven Adams, how he just blows everything up on the rebounds. Like it's an absolute game changer. And he don't score outside of 5 feet, but he's like a game changer. You're right.
He's a problem, man. Like offense, I think he leads the league in offensive rebounds per minute. He's a problem. And then on defense, he rebounds and he blocks shots. So he allows Cat to be out, and they play two bigs. They can play two bigs with him. They can both play at the same time. Allow Cat to stay out. He's a good 3-point shooter, and if he's knocking that down, he can drive off the dribble. He's just got to play. He's got to be consistent, and he's got to stay out of foul trouble. He gets a lot of stupid fouls, man, and it's just to me takes himself out of the game. Cat does.
How you feeling about the Lakers, man? They're not as bad as like media's making it seem they are. Like they're pretty good. There's just a lot of injuries at the end of the day.
They're a sleeper, man. Like they're like fifth in the West with only playing 10 games with LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reeves. And to me, everybody's sleeping on Austin Reeves. He's a problem, bro. He's averaging 25 more than LeBron.
What people don't talk about is how crazy his handle is.
Crazy.
He got basketball on a string.
He's a problem. So to me, if he's healthy and all three of them are healthy, I don't want to see them in the first round. I don't care who you are. Like, if they're all healthy and they're ready to go, they're legitimate. They're legitimate, what do you call it? Sleeper to me. They're a legitimate sleeper in the West.
Yeah, it's weird they're a sleeper because they're just so talented. Like when you got three guys like that, usually don't sleep on them, but it's like it's all the narratives around them. Like people like, messing with LeBron, really. He's just been here too long, bro. It's like he's still good, but people are just over him, bro. People are over him.
And all three of them don't play defense. All three of them aren't good defensive players. That's what everybody talks about. Defensively, that's where they have the problem because Minnesota just kept whoever Luka was guarding, they just kept putting them in the pick and roll and switching Luka onto the ball. You know what I mean? And now you got Austin, who's not a great defender. LeBron's 41. So he's not going to be out there picking up, full court doing that shit. To me, just defensively is where they're going to be hurt, and that from that standpoint with those three guys.
So back to All-Star a little bit. On a podcast recently, Ron Harper said Scottie Pippen is the best small forward to ever play the game of basketball. Thoughts?
Hell no. Small forward, he's not like. Okay, what do we call it? Is who Dominique, Larry Bird? I mean, small forward. He's a small like T-Mac.
The guy we just talked about, LeBron James. The guy we just
LeBron James. Like no way. Like he didn't even average 20 points a game. You can say he's the best all around defensive player, scorer, rebounder, passer. Okay, you want to talk about that to say the best ever. Ron played with him. That's his guy. You know what I mean? Ron played with him. That's his guy. So I understand that. I love Ron. That's my guy too. But to say that, nah. Scottie might say that about himself, but I don't think there's just too many great players. I'm sure I'm missing like 5 or 6 other players that just were unbelievable at that position. I mean, Kevin Durant.
Yeah. Scottie is probably closer to KD than people give him credit for, though. But I don't think he's better than KD.
Right. I mean, and you're talking about players who can play multiple positions just like Scottie. So Was Grant Hill? Grant Hill's a small. Was he 1, 2, 3? Like like T Mac. Is he
Yeah.
a 1, 2, 3?
T
Like
Mac,
some
T Mac
some.
himself. Ron Harper said it's a T Mac. T Mac. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of guys. I just don't think that. I don't think his scoring is enough to say he's the greatest ever. Like he wasn't an unstoppable scorer.
Paul Pierce or Scottie Pippen?
Ooh, I'm taking Paul Pierce, man. I'm
Why?
taking P double. Because I just think Paul was a dog on defense too. He wasn't as great a defensive player as Scotty, but he was a dog. He challenged Kobe in those finals. He wanted he said, I got Kobe. He didn't stop him, but they went head to head. You know what I'm saying? So to me, he's not as great as defensive player, not as good a passer, but his scoring was so much better. I would take the scoring over the defense and the other shit.
Do you
And
think
in
Paul?
a 7 game series, definitely I'm doing that.
Do you think Paul Pierce was the best players on that team or on the Celtics championship team, or you think it was Kevin Garnett?
I was Paul Pierce. KG was at a point in his career where he capitulated to Paul. He understood what Paul could do, and he allowed Paul to be Paul, and he almost pushed Paul. Like I'll tell you, Paul was like kind of like come to practice, like play
He,
one on ones.
he a West Coast guy, right? They got that like
Yeah,
laid back kind of mentality. Yeah.
yeah, but KG was like, nah, you coming here an hour and a half early with me. You getting your shots up, you putting your work in. He changed Paul's mentality of how he played the game, and he pushed Paul to be great. He told Paul he was great, and he made Paul play great.
I'd love to see what Paul's doing now because it's like so true to himself. Like, obviously the stuff went awry with like Disney, ESPN, and all that. But now, like talking about the relationship stuff, I feel like he might become more famous in that one day than even basketball. Like that stuff is good, bro. Like when he gets in that bag, I like what I'm
Definitely,
seeing.
I love it on his show. He keeps it 100. He speaks. He's so confident in himself. He
Yeah.
has no problem telling you he'll give it to anybody, but he'll also be real about everything else that you talk about. You know what I mean? And I love it. I love his genuine. He's just who he is. He's not out there trying to be somebody on the film or on the video. He's just being himself, and I love that about him. And he's gonna be a star in terms of that. He's gonna have his own show. He's gonna get a big deal with somebody, man. I think.
100%. 100%. So you were a two-sport athlete, Dana Barros. What sport do you think it's the hardest to go pro in?
Football, man. I
Yeah.
think football because it's such a physical game, and everybody like when you get to the football, like me playing football, I went to visits like I was top 50 football player in the country. I went to visit to Michigan. My visits to BC were with Doug Flutie football team. Like I took 2 visits to BC and just to see the linebackers was damn near just as fast as me. The linebackers are running 4.5s. I ran a 4.3 in college, right? But the linebackers are running 4.4s. The defensive ends are fast as the running backs. You know what I'm saying? It's just you got to be not only a super athlete, but you got to be able to take that beating every day, man. So, I think football is tougher. Basketball is if you're just a great shooter, you can sit on somebody's bench for 10 years. You know what I mean? But if you're just fast, you're not gonna make it in the NFL for 10 years. You gotta catch the ball, you gotta run the ball, you gotta have to get hit. So
Yeah.
to me, it's harder. We can be a great in one skill in basketball and make it. Not in
Yeah.
football.
Is it fair to say that basketball players are more skillful, but football players are more athletic?
Definitely, but I think basketball players are probably just as athletic, um, in terms of fluidity. Like
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
just like a ballerina type athletic. But
Yeah,
football players are.
I feel like that's why I feel like testing and combine needs so much more in football because like in basketball there's so much nuance to the game.
Right.
Like you could do good in all that testing stuff, but you could be trash. Like if you have some kind of toughness in football and you test real well, you'll probably be pretty good in football, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and it's a different type of skill. Like basketball, like is like a ballerina athleticism, and football is like a brute strength athleticism. And football, the play lasts for 7 seconds, right? So you're gonna be out there for 7 seconds. You're gonna use your brute strength and your speed and your athleticism. Basketball, it could be a 7 minute up and down the court where no one's stopping, right? It could be so you. It's a different type of athleticism. So. But I think football players are a combo of speed and strength that's unmatched in any other sport.
Which sport do you think is more fun to watch?
I like watching football more now, man. I love
Really?
I love watching football, man. I just
Yeah.
love it. Basketball is hard. Even being a 3-point shooter is hard to watch, man. Like you watching 30% shooters shooting. It's 3-on-1. A 30% shooter goes to the corner for a three. Like, come on, man. Like, I'd rather take off and dunk the ball and use your athleticism. It's hard to watch, man. With everyone's a copycat in the NBA. Everybody's trying to win with the 3-and-D guys. I don't like watching it. It's tough for me to watch, just personally.
Do you feel like that back when you were playing, there was more unique players, like players that just played like back in the day, like when you were playing, you would just see random dudes with like the funky form. It would just be like, it would be different.
Yeah, like I just think I played so much basketball. I'm just tired of watching it. That could be it. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
basketball gym with 50 AAU teams. I do consulting for the Celtics, so I go to 40, 50 games a year. I might be just basketballed out. You know what I mean? Maybe that's why I don't watch it as much. But so I wouldn't probably be a good judge of that as a normal fan would. I just love football. I don't know why. I just love watching football. I could almost watch any football game. I'm not watching any basketball game. I need to see two players play or two good teams play.
Yeah. All right, I want to ask you this before we get out of here: Hakeem Olajuwon or Shaquille O'Neal?
Damn. Mm. You're talking like, do I want the ballerina who's Akeem, or do I want Miles Garrett and Shaq? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's how you want it. But I think they both were dominant. But to me, I played against both of them. I just think Shaq was more dominant just because of his size and speed. So I probably would take Shaq, but Akeem was more skilled. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't lose either way. But if you ask me in a series, I'm taking the prime Shaq over Akeem. And it's not by a lot, but Shaq was to me playing. I played 14 years. He was the most dominant player other than Jordan I ever played again. It was just like if he got the ball, it was fucking over. It was nothing. And the Hacker Shack, like you would break your hand trying to follow him. You know what I'm saying?
You ever got caught down there?
No, but I just missed the elbow like when he came through like this, and
Oh.
it just missed my face, and it was like I was like, I'm never double teaming that shit again. Like, don't send me down on a double team. Send somebody else down on a double team because that would have been the end of my career right there.
Data, it's always great talking basketball with you. Thanks for taking the time. What you got coming up, man? Just working on the gym, working in the
In the
gym.
gym, I just started. I'm just getting ready to post my second Barrels report. I started the Barrels report yesterday on Dana Barrels TV. Or check that out on YouTube.
Definitely.
So yesterday I talked about the All-Star game. Today I'm gonna post the load management. I got some good stories about the traveling and how the traveling was different. So check out Dana Barrels TV, the Barrels report. That's starting out. That started yesterday.
I love that, man, because so many people hit me up. They're like, "Yo, I love the Dana Barrow stories." So you gotta,
I
you gotta
got
keep,
crazy
yeah, you
stories,
gotta keep
man.
giving them
Like
those stories, man. People love it,
yeah.
bro. People love it.
Wait till you hear the airport stories. You check out Dana, but wait till you hear the airport stories and the one I post today. You're gonna hear some funny shit today.
I'm looking forward to it, bro. Thanks for taking the time. Until next time, my guy.
All day.
Yes,
Peace, my man.
sir.
Love.
One second. Let me just.